watching Express News, where we update you with the top 100 news of the day from across the country and the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. As the world steps into 2025, India's President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended greetings and wishes to countrymen for a prosperous year ahead. Talking to X, Prime Minister Modi emphasized the importance of new opportunities, personal growth and collective well-being as the guiding principles for the year. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, along with his Australian, Japanese and US counterparts, issued a joint statement on Tuesday commemorating the 20th anniversary of Quad cooperation. On this occasion, they reaffirmed the grouping's steadfast commitment to work towards a free, open and peaceful Indo-Pacific. They said in the statement that the group respects Pacific-led regional architecture, foremost the Pacific Islands Forum, and is steadfast in support for the Indian Ocean Rim Association, the region's premier organization. One Nation, One Subscription, a new central sector scheme, comes into effect from today. It will provide the country-wide access to scholarly research articles and journal publications. The scheme will be administered through a simple, user-friendly and fully digital process. This will be a One Nation, One Subscription facility for the government, higher education institutions and R&D laboratories of the central government. A total of about 6,000 crore rupees has been allocated for One Nation, One Subscription for 3 calendar years, 2025, 2026 and 2027. The phase of the scheme starting from today will provide access to over 13,000 journals for more than 6,300 government, academic and R&D institutes, including central and state government universities and colleges. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath chaired a meeting of the Uttar Pradesh State Road Safety Council in Lucknow. The National Investigation Agency has announced a record-breaking achievement for 2024, boasting a 100% conviction rate with the conviction of 68 accused in 25 cases, a feat that officials attributed to rigorous investigations and legal strategies. To make the journey easy and safe for the pilgrims, the Indian Railways will operate more than 10,000 regular and 3,134 special trains. The government has introduced an AI-powered chatbot, Kumbh Sahayak, to assist pilgrims with navigation and cultural information and travel updates. From WhatsApp status to X, Instagram and Facebook Reels, the Maha Kumbh is becoming increasingly popular. The viral reels and videos related to Maha Kumbh are constantly making its way to the trending list. People gathered at the Bhima Koregaon village in the West Indian state of Maharashtra on the 207th anniversary of the Bhima Koregaon battle to pay tribute at the Vijay Stambh. The Stambh was built in honor of the soldiers who fought in the Battle of Pune on January 1, 1818. The battle was a pivotal conflict between the East India Company and the Peshwa faction at the of the Maharashtra Confederacy. Devotees thronged Jagannath Temple as Dwarafita Niti of the temple in Puri in the eastern Indian state of Odisha is being celebrated on the first day of 2025. A large number of people visited Haridwar, a holy place in the North Indian state of Uttarakhand, on the occasion of New Year 2025 and took a holy dip in river Ganges. Indian Navy is set to commission 3 indigenously built warships, Nilgiri, Surat and Wagshir, on the 15th of this month at Naval Dockyard, Mumbai, to provide a significant boost to the Indian Navy's combat readiness. The Ministry of Defence has declared 2025 as the year of reforms in order to give impetus to the ongoing and future reforms in the defence sector. The output of India's 8 core sector industries rose 4.3% year-on-year in November due to a robust growth in cement and steel production during the month. Cement production surged by a robust 13% in November, while steel output grew 4.8%, slightly lower than the revised 5.2% increase the previous month. India is making significant inroads into the global coffee export market. Total coffee exports during the current financial year up to November has crossed the $1 billion mark for the first time. Crude oil prices fell around 3% in 2024, slipping for a second straight year as the post-pandemic demand recovery stalled. So Brent crude futures on Tuesday, the last trading day of the year, settled up 65 cents to $74.64 a barrel. At close, Nifty climbed 98.1 points to 23,743. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange rose 368 points to settle at 78,507 on the first trading day of 2025. The Indian rupee closed flat at 85.64 rupees against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on February 5th were priced at 76,890 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for March 5th maturity stood at 87,581 per kilo on the MCX. Eastern European nations face an energy crisis, prompting fears of a harsh winter ahead as Ukraine refuses to renew its 2019 gas transit deal with Moscow. Ukraine's decision to turn off the taps, keeping Russian gas flowing via its territory to Europe, has sown trouble, with Moldova declaring a state of emergency and Slovakia threatening Kiev with retaliation. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed that his country would use 2025 to fight for an end to the 3-year-long conflict with Russia by any means necessary. In a late-night address, the Ukrainian president said that no one would give peace to his country as a gift, but he believed that the United States would stand alongside Kiev against Russia. 2 projectiles were fired from Gaza on Wednesday, Israel's military said, one of which was intercepted while the other landed in an open area. Alert sirens were sounded around midnight in the western Negev. The military said it has intercepted several rockets fired from northern Gaza in recent days. The Israel Defense Forces has confirmed the killing of Hamas's Nukba platoon commander Abd al-Hadi Sabah in a recent drone strike. According to the IDF, Sabah was eliminated in the Khan Yunis area of southern Gaza. The IDF also reported that its units working with Shin Bet eliminated 14 Hamas terrorists, 6 of whom had participated in the October 7th massacre. Senior aides of impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol, including his chief of staff, offered to resign on Wednesday, a day after acting president appointed 2 justices to the Constitutional Court. South Korean authorities on Wednesday announced that all 179 of those who died in the Jeju airplane crash have been identified. In a rare moment of contrition, French President Emmanuel Macron has recognized that his decision to call early parliamentary elections in June had created more political instability in the country. Macron shocked the nation halfway through 2024 by calling early elections a gamble that backfired when voters delivered a hung parliament with a big increase in far-right lawmakers, diluting Macron's power. The internet sites of several French cities and at least one department were inaccessible. The attacks were claimed on X by a hackers group calling themselves by No Name, a collective already known for other attacks and for defending Russian points of view. The US Treasury Department has been hit by a major cyber attack, with lawmakers alleging that Chinese state-sponsored hackers were behind the breach. The latest breach of the US Treasury Department systems has once again turned the spotlight on Chinese state-sponsored cyber activity. The United States imposed sanctions on entities in Iran and Russia, accusing them of attempting to interfere in the 2024 US election. The US Treasury Department said in a statement that the entities, a subsidiary of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and an organization affiliated with Russia's military intelligence agency, targeted our election processes. Residents from Romania and Bulgaria can now travel freely in the Schengen area. The combined 25 million residents of both the countries now join nearly 450 million EU citizens who already have the freedom to move around the Schengen zone. The European Commission gave the green light to the countries in December. It marked an important signal to citizens of the two countries that they could now feel like fully fledged members of the European Union. US President-elect Donald Trump said that he would attend next week's state funeral for Jimmy Carter, the former US president who died on Sunday. We're heading for a short break here on DD India. Keep watching Express News. We'll be back in a bit.
Goa, a wild nature paradise, where over a third of the state remains wild today, and every corner is full of surprises. Goa's forests evolved through the seasons. Insects and crocodiles flourish in the monsoon, butterflies in the months after the rains subside, and in the winter, the jungle transforms into a haven for birds. Oh, there's a female right next to him. Oh my God, is that 8 otters? That's one of my favorite things about these forests. There are still so many secrets out there. Watch postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back. I'm Tanvi Taneja and you're watching Express News. Let's resume. Several northern states in India are reeling under a cold wave, with snowfall continuing in the hill regions. India Meteorological Department predicts the temperatures to remain constant in the western Himalayan regions. However, they are expected to drop by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius in the central and east Indian states. More snowfall is expected in parts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh in the coming 3 days. The IMD has also issued warnings for ground frost in northeast Indian states and Himachal Pradesh. Large waves caused by strong winds crashed onto the pier in the town of New Haven in the south of England, as weather warnings are put in place for rain, snow and wind across the UK. Adverse weather is set to hit the United Kingdom New Year festivities, with organisers of the Edinburgh's Hogmanay Street party already cancelling the event on public safety grounds. Japan on Wednesday marked 1 year since a powerful earthquake struck the Noto Peninsula in central Japan, leaving at least 500 people dead, including those who succumbed to health issues afterwards, as efforts towards full recovery continue in the hardest hit areas. Some 21,000 residents in Ishikawa Prefecture, which faces the Sea of Japan, remain evacuated or in temporary housing as of late December, with infrastructure restoration and the demolition of collapsed homes still incomplete. The first coin of the year has been minted in Canberra at the Royal Australian Mint. Canberran Danilo Vido, 25, was chosen from a ballot of hundreds of collectors for the honour of striking 2025's first coin. In Australia, studies show that music and play can boost the mental health of aged care residents and improve learning outcomes for children. Studies show these kinds of music learning programs can help bridge generational divides. The sessions are helping connect the smallest and oldest members of the community. Millions of revelers gathered on Rio de Janeiro's famed Copacabana beach to usher in 2025 in what has become one of the world's famous New Year Eve celebrations. People were entertained throughout by performances from musicians. Concerts were also held at other venues in Rio de Janeiro, with a total of 13 stages spread across the city. Londoners rang in the new year with a spectacular fireworks display. The festivities went ahead despite much of the UK being subjected to severe weather warnings for the coming week with heavy rain and strong winds. Tens of thousands of people gathered under the Brandenburg Gate in Germany's capital Berlin to usher in the start of the year. According to countdown organizers, up to 60,000 people were present on the street of 17th of June on the western side of the gate, which once separated East and West Berlin until the fall of the Berlin Wall in November 1989. Thousands of people celebrated the passing of the New Year in Paris as fireworks lit up the sky above the Arc de Triomphe monument. Gathered on the iconic Champs-Élysées Avenue, people watched various musical performances, light shows and a fireworks display. Greece's ancient Parthenon temple on the Acropolis had a quiet New Year with limited fireworks and a small drone display to ring in 2025. The mayor of Athens said this year's celebration took into account the distress that loud fireworks cause on pets and animals. Qatar welcomed the new year with a grand drone and fireworks display at the Lusail Boulevard, drawing hundreds of people. In Lusail, people gathered at the Lusail Boulevard with many capturing the countdown lights in the sky. The New Year's Day showcased a drone display spelling out 2025 alongside a fireworks show. Syrian cities marked New Year's Eve with large-scale celebrations amid tight security, just weeks after the ousting of former ruler Bashar al-Assad. In Damascus, crowds gathered in the main Umayyad Square to witness a large fireworks display. Fireworks shone over Ras Al Khaimah on New Year's Eve as hundreds gathered to ring in the new year. Ras Al Khaimah set 2 new Guinness World Records with its drones and fireworks display. The first was for the largest aerial display and the second was the largest aerial image of a seashell formed by drones. Kenyans were preparing to welcome the new year with roasted goat meat and prayers. In Ruiru, revelers gathered in a pub to celebrate New Year's Eve with roasted goat meat, a traditional dish known as nyama koma. Around 200 giant theatre puppets and scarecrows took part in a parade celebrating Cambodia in the new year. The Cambodian Pride Parade includes cultural performances, parades or sports with costumes and body decorations, along with creative parade floats, balloons and decorations for ornaments with color, technology and light. Balika Cave, located in the Pazar district of Tokat, captivates visitors with its stalactites and stalagmites formed over millions of years. Listed in UNESCO's World Heritage tentative list, the cave attracted 90,000 tourists this year. It stands as one of Turkey's largest and most magnificent caves, preserving its mystery with yet to be discovered sections. Jason Momoa, best known for his role as the DC superhero Aquaman, is set to switch sides and portray the infamous supervillain Lobo in the upcoming Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Mufasa, the Lion King, has crossed 100 crore mark at the Indian box office. The story follows a young Mufasa lost in the wilderness with no pride to call his own. Indian actor Varun Dhawan's mass action entertainer Baby John received mixed reviews from critics. Despite being a festive release, the film's performance at the box office has been quite disappointing. And on to sporting news now. In chess, reigning champion Magnus Carlsen of Norway shared the 2024 World Blitz Championship title with Russia's Ian Nepomniachtchi in New York. This is the first chess World Championship title that has ever been shared after the final ended in a tie between Carlsen and Nepomniachtchi. India's R. Vaishali lost in the semi-finals of the World Blitz Championship against China's Zhu Wenjun. Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic began his season with straight-set wins against Riki Hikata 6-3, 6-3 at Brisbane International. Belarusian Arna Sabalenka will take on Kazakhstan's Yulia Putintseva in the round of 16 match on Thursday at Brisbane International. In Hockey India League, Hyderabad Tufans picked up their first win by beating Delhi SG Pipers 5-4 in a thrilling penalty shootout in Rourkela. Strachira Bengal Tigers will battle it out against Team Gonasika in their second match of the Hockey India League in Rourkela on Wednesday. Double Olympic champion long-distance runner Beatrice Chebet smashed record in women's 5,000-meter race in Barcelona. Chebet, who won 5,000-meter and 10,000-meter gold at the Paris Olympics earlier this year, beat her previous record by 19 seconds. Former England captain Kevin Pietersen has expressed dissatisfaction with the World Test Championship qualification process after South Africa made the final. Mumbai's batter Ayush Mahatre has set a new world record for the youngest player to score 150-plus runs during the Vijay Hazare Trophy match against Nagaland. West Bengal reasserted its supremacy in India's National Football Championship by winning the Santosh Trophy for a record 33rd time against Kerala. Spanish soccer giant Real Madrid held a public practice session to mark New Year in Madrid on Tuesday. Mikel Arteta has challenged Arsenal to hammer away at Liverpool's daunting lead in the Premier League title race. Arsenal trail 9 points behind table topper Liverpool. And Plymouth Argyle mutually agreed to part ways with head coach Wayne Rooney after just over 7 months in charge. So that's it in this edition of Express News. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.